There are certain things we may take for granted, like the clothes on our backs. For victims of domestic violence, a coat can mean the world to them. One teenage girl has spent the last 7 years providing warmth for those left in the darkness.
There is a lot of learning time management that goes into play. My calendar, like if you look at it on any given week, it has different colors, it's color coded, I have reminders set.
A day in the life of 18-year-old Victoria Kozlik can be summed up in 3 words: go, go, go.
I'm a fire cadet. We just started speech team practice. I have club volleyball going on. I have band. What else? Student council, music honor society.
However, as winter rolls around, Coats for Hope becomes the priority. Ever since she was 11 years old.
I was constantly growing in middle school, so I would always be going through winter gear and clothes and everything else. Figured out we had a lot of coats left over. Didn't know what to do with them.
Everything began with 3 boxes at Byron Middle School, with donations going to Hope of Ogle County Domestic Violence Agency, and it's only blown up from there.
It's going to be about 45 to 60 boxes this year. It's looking like 2 different states, countless towns from where I grew up in Dixon all the way out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
From banks to grocery stores to car dealerships, Victoria has collected 43,000 winter wear items and $25,000. Everything going toward victims and survivors of domestic violence.
We've gotten to know them over the last 7 years. We thought we were just helping her out. We're going to, collect a few coats and just help her with her cause that we thought was a good cause.
It's a good cause, born from a traumatic situation. Victoria and her dad, Robert, are survivors themselves, living through abuse from her mother.
Growing up in Dixon, my mom was just got pregnant again. She finally broke the news to me. I was about 4 or 5 at the time, so I didn't fully understand it. And later on, she had sadly lost the baby. So she steeped into a really hard depression.
It was a very difficult time for us. Wondering, sometimes what we're gonna be doing the next day or what's gonna be happening, or worrying about Tori going on visits, having to hide cell phones and stuffed animals just in case something happens.
My dad finally found out after I had a black eye from a wooden cross being thrown at my face. So he found out, he lost his temper, and we left.
The Kozliks needed help, and they found it here at the YWCA in Sterling.
When new employees start at the YWCA, I always tell them our goal is to work ourselves out of a job. And unfortunately, I don't know that I ever see that happening.
The Sterling YWCA serves 600 to 800 victims every year. The average victim takes 7 times to leave their abuser, which is why a coat means the world to them when they finally get the courage to move on.
When victims leave, people often don't realize that they leave with nothing. There's people out there who don't have the means to get it and who are so beaten down that coat can mean the difference for them between life and death.
So Victoria walks the line between the darkness and the light, a bridge for her fellow survivors.
Children are resilient, but people don't picture what children go through and what it's like to live in the home of violence. To be able to take an experience like that and to transform that into something to help the community is really uplifting and exciting.
The real excitement lies in the future. Victoria will be off to college next fall, and so will Coats for Hope, setting her up to expand her helping hand far beyond the 815.
I'm hoping this can get somewhere to the point where it's nationwide. We're able to help in these shelters in all of the states, and that being able to help the people who are going through something that I went through, because no one needs to go through that.
The amount of love and pride and emotion I have in seeing her do this, it's beyond the scale. To see it go to the point where it is now, and her getting ready to take this to college, just blows me away. What's going to happen in the next 7 years? I just can't wait to see it.
Well, Victoria is set on where she'll go to college and will be there when she makes a public announcement sometime in January.